Hello and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. If you are a new viewer, hi, I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Kraken Made, where I sell my handmade treasures like hand-dyed yarn, progress keepers, and my own pattern designs. You can find me on Instagram as Crafting Kraken Made, and you can also find me and my patterns on Lovecrafts and Payhip. And we are outside today. There are a little bit of technical issues with being outdoors, such as the sun. It's wonderful, and it's wonderful, but I cannot see you guys if I do not have my sunglasses on and I just squint, and it kind of looks funny 'cause I'm just like so I'm gonna be wearing my sunglasses. And there are wind barriers up here on the deck. One of them keeps popping out. I don't know if you can see in the screen. This little black thing here is actually a foam mat that is used for swimming, but we've been using it as a wind barrier because our deck is a little high up and it's the perfect place to catch every single breeze. It's lovely when it's warm, but not very great when you have a microphone. We're gonna make the best of it, and this quilt is back here, one for looks and two as a extra wind barrier. I'm just sipping on. This is raspberry cranberry juice with some strawberries as some ice cubes. And it actually matches my dress. I don't know, it was a very pretty day, so I felt like wearing a pretty dress. If you don't know, I live on the west coast of Canada on good old Vancouver Island. And Vancouver Island is well known for being rainy. So when the sun comes out, everybody's out. So we are going to probably hear all the noises of the neighborhood. But that's okay. Lots of cars, lots of building. Luckily, there's a breeze. We're making the best of it. I just really wanted to be outside because I wanted to get some of that beautiful sunshine as well, and I thought you guys would like it too. So we're gonna make it work, even though I just explained a bunch of cons and how terrible a filming area this is. It's okay. We're gonna just enjoy yarn. We're gonna ignore everything else. Yeah, I think that's the whole intro. Today's podcast is going to include lots of car noises. As you can hear honking, seagulls. I don't know. You don't really realize how many noises the outdoors has until you start filming, but it all sounds pretty peaceful, except for the honking. Anyway, today's podcast will include lots of whips. I have some half-finished objects, and my husband will come on because he has a finished object. So exciting! And if I clear my throat often, it's because I have this terrible thing that when I get sick with a cold or something, it will, I'll be completely healed. I feel absolutely fine, but it takes forever for my throat to heal. So I might have to take little cuts or breaks to cough, or clear my throat. So it's just a wonderful podcast. I don't know why. I don't know. I want to make sure that you all know what's going on as I film so that you're not surprised by anything. So anyway, after all that blabbering, let's get cracking. Okay, so I will start with my half-finished objects to show you guys. I'm just keeping this in a bag that I sewed a long time ago. I have one of these in the shop right now. It's just a really simple zip project bag that it can hold about 2 skeins. I have 2 sock projects in here, which is awesome. And I put on a little resin zipper pull to match the fabric. I love this bag so much. And this is from a thrifted dress. So it's a little bit of everything in there, and I really love that. Okay, so let's start with my travel sock. So I finished one of them. I have just a set of vanilla socks on the needles so that whenever I leave the house and go on a trip or just go into town for like to have lunch or dinner, like anytime I leave the house, I have a pair of vanilla socks to just throw into my bag so that I have something simple to knit on. And I finished one of them. So I did this cuff down this time, just as a little change. I generally like to knit my socks toe up. I just enjoy socks more that way, but I thought I'd try cuff down. And I'll be doing a cuff down for the next one as well. It's just a simple vanilla sock pattern that I have in my head. It is a 64 stitch count sock. I did about 18 rows for the cuff, 40 rows for the leg, a German short row heel, general foot length, and then just decreased the toe and Kitchener stitch it together. Pretty easy. Everybody has a different foot type, so that is generally what I knit for my foot. And I do it on 2.25 millimeter needles. And this one is knit out of Storyweaver yarn in the colorway Hufflepuff. And I'll show you the one. I'll do the whip at the same time. I've got the next one just started. I like to cast on the second sock right away so that I don't get second sock syndrome. And it's nice to have it so that if I do suddenly have to go somewhere, it's all ready to go for me. So that is that one. And then my second finished sock is my Reuel sock. So, oh my goodness, I love this so much. Sorry. A little sip of juice. So this is one of my own pattern designs. This is the Reuel sock. Reuel. Reuel. There'll be a link to it down below. Everything I talk about, all the patterns, and just general stuff to link will be down below in the description. So don't worry about having to take note or anything. So yeah, this is my own pattern design. This is the fingering weight version. I have it in both fingering and DK. Oh dear, the motorcycles are out. Lovely. It's okay. So this is a toe-up sock pattern, and I knit this out of my own hand-dyed yarn in my Whirlpool base, Whirlpool fingering. It is a 2-ply non-superwash and then 1-ply superwash to create this kind of marled look. It's really cool. And it's so soft. It's amazing. So for the foot of the sock, you just do the patterning on the top and plain knitting on the back, and then you do full ribbed, this is seated ribbing on the leg, and then fancy little cuff. I tried a new cast off with this one, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. This cast off comes from Rook Knits. I discovered it when I was knitting my spring autumn jacket. Oh dear, there's the oven. Bread needs to come out. Hang on. Sorry about that. I had some brown bread in the oven and it was done. So it is now out here cooling, and I wish there was a smell sensation to add to the YouTube video because they smell so good. I love the smell of freshly made bread. We were talking about the Reuel sock. So, the Reuel sock, my own pattern design. This is the fingering weight version. I did it with 2.25 millimeter needles, and it is a toe-up pattern, seated ribbing. Oh yeah, I was talking about the cuff. So I tried a new cuff, and it's okay. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It does flare a little bit, but once it's on my foot, you're not going to really tell. It is stretchy, which is nice. Yeah, Rook Knit. I don't know if she's a YouTube channel or not, but if you look on her Instagram, she did put up videos of her cast off. So if you're interested in trying it on something else, it works amazing on garments. I don't know if it's a sock cast off though. I did like doing it though. Very easy. You just need a darning needle. Yeah, there is one. And I've just got a teeny tiny toe on my Chia Goose. I knit all my socks magic loop. It's just my preferred method. And again, my own hand dyed yarn. This is Barbossa's Apple, which is a Pirates of the Caribbean colorway. So I'm a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan. So yeah. Also, I love bright greens. Just one of my favorite happy colors. And so that is my other half-finished object. I tell you, it's taken about twice as long to film this podcast today as it usually does, but all the excuse to stay outside longer. Okay. I guess we can move on to works in progress. I'll show you what I've been working on currently. When I knit my projects, I seem to have select, I guess I could take these off. I'm slightly in the shade now. I have select progress, I guess, like when I go towards what I'm in the mood to do. And I set a goal, reach that goal, and then move on to my next project. I'm not equal progress on my projects. So today I've been working on my Halibut Sweater finally. I just started last night working on it again, and today, and I'm almost halfway through the chart. That is my recent goal. So if you're new, I'm knitting the Halibut Sweater by Boylan Knitworks, Caitlin Hunter. It's such a great sweater. This is a DK weight sweater. And I've got it on some pretty big needles now, so that's awesome. It is. Woo! It's a little curly. I'll hold it up like this. This will help. You see it better? So I've got, look, you can see some fins. I just started working on the body of the halibut. I've gone halibut fishing before. I caught a halibut before, and it tastes delicious. Best fish for fish and chips. So this just makes me so happy. The yarn I'm using is Defino Knit Co. on her Lighthouse DK Tweed. For the mane, I am using My Soul Does Magnify the Lord. It's a gorgeous pale pink, and it is 85% superwash merino, 15% Donegal. I was corrected the last podcast by a I don't know what to say. Friend, good viewer, all around, super nice person. I can't remember your name right now. I feel so bad. But anyway, I was corrected in the proper pronunciation of it, Donegal. So I'm going to try my best to say it properly. 15% Donegal Neb. That just sounds funny when I say it. I don't think I'm supposed to say it that way. But anyway, it's 100 grams, 231 yards. And then my contrast color is Joseph Dreaming. It's a gorgeous, deep navy blue. I love this shade of blue. So yeah, the Halibut Sweater. I am using the needles called for. And something that I do with all my colorwork stuff is that I put stitch markers between each colorwork repeat to help me keep track of what I'm doing. And oh my goodness, it takes me a while to get around a full repeat nowadays because it's getting so long. I think I figured out that it takes me about half an hour to do a whole way around. Mainly because I'm a very slow colorwork knitter. Very slow. I do use both hands. The dominant color I keep in my right hand because I'm right-handed, and then the secondary color I keep in my left hand to do it. And it works, but my left hand gets so strained after a while, so that's the one thing that's been holding me back from this sweater, is that because it's a DK weight sweater, it's so heavy, and that puts a lot of strain on my left arm specifically. Because I'm supporting the knitting, I use both hands, so when I don't know, I'll try and give you a visual. When I'm knitting, I have both hands, but I'm holding it with my bottom two fingers on both sides, and I find that it causes this side of my arm to really get sore, so I have to stop, stretch it out, give some little hand exercises, and then come back. So that's been slowing me down a bit, but I know I'm trying not to rush this sweater. I really want to see progress on the colorwork chart because it's beautiful. It's so much fun. But I can't force progress on this sweater because I'm gonna hurt my hands. And so I'm just doing sections at a time. I'm almost halfway through the chart, and so once I'm halfway, I'll put it down for a little bit, work on something else, and then come back to it. It's all good balance. And I'm just keeping it in my Cozy Up bag from JoJo bags in the lime green, because you know I love a good lime green. It's such a happy color. I know lime green isn't for everybody, but it's such... Oh man, I nailed it. Can you tell I love this color? Okay, next work in progress, let's do this guy. Because this was the biggest amount of progress from the last podcast, and it's still got progress. So this is my Spring Autumn jacket by Rook Knit. Get out of the shadow. It's a fully garter cardigan, and I can't say like how amazing it is to just knit this cardigan. Like, there's very little brain thought required. I finished the right front side and have got, oh dear, it's a little tangled, but we'll get through. There we go. So I finished the right front right there, as you can see. It's hard to hold it up because it's so stretchy because it's garter. The right front, and I've got the left front on the needle ready to go. It's so, it smells amazing because it's 100% woolly wool. This wool is a sport weight 100% wool from a mill. Shepherds, I don't know what to explain them as, but some naturally brought up, that's not the words either. Anyway, real wool, real woolly wool from Finland. This is, I have the tag that my mom, oh no, trying to find the tag. Yeah, this is a Finland sheep And there's their Instagram, Rintalan Tila. I'll leave a link to their website down below where you can read all about them. But it is all in Finnish. There's no English thing, so just use a little Google Translate. Amazing wool. Here is some all caked up. This is a worsted weight pattern, but I found that just going up a few needle sizes, I got pretty close gauge, and once it's blocked, it's gonna bloom beautifully into that, I don't know, into that garter and still be nice and drapey. So I'm using way bigger needles than the pattern calls for. I'm using size 10 US 6mm on sport weight, which makes it knit up super fast. So I will probably have this done pretty soon. Probably not by the next podcast. That's not the goal, but it will be done in the very near future, which is exciting because I can't wait to have a handmade cardigan. I don't have one, which is ridiculous because I wear almost nothing but cardigans. 50% of the time you'll find me in a hoodie, and the other 50% you'll find me in a cardigan. Today I'm in neither because it's so warm out here, which is nice. But as soon as I go back into the house, I'm probably going to need a cardigan because air conditioning is cold. I'm going to put my sunglasses back on. Whew. Okay, next work in progress. You know, all this vitamin D is making me so happy and so energized. I also had a coffee before we filmed, so that might add to my awakeness. I've been trying to cut down on my coffee intake just a little bit, so I'll either have a tea or a hot chocolate or something and leave to one coffee a day when I do feel like I need the energy boost. Today I have mine around lunchtime, and so I'm just like, woo! Caffeine is starting to affect me more again. Okay, let's move on to the next work in progress that I did a ton of work on. I don't think I had a whole lot of work done on this last podcast. I think this is the most progress I've put into anything so far. So this is the front. Ta-da! Get into the light. Close that. Okay, so this is my Sonya Tee by Born and Raised Knits. Woo. This darn beam is getting into my lighting, but oh well. So Sonya Tee by Born and Raised Knits. It is a tee with a peplum bottom, and I have split for sleeves. Yes. And oh my goodness, I enjoyed this so much. Before I did these projects, I had this idea that color work was just not my thing. But I really enjoy color work. I love working a color work chart and seeing the progress and seeing the pattern build. It's very exciting for me. So this was such a joy to do, and my goal was to be able to split for sleeves before July. I guess my last podcast was in June. That's amazing. So I reached that goal. Split for sleeves. It was kind of nerve-wracking because you continue the color work through the body as well, so you have to split for sleeves and make sure that the chart stays where it is. But my recommendation is just read the instructions slowly and one step at a time. Don't try to take on the whole thing at once. I had to read through it a few times. My husband read through it a few times. My mom read through it a couple times, just so that we were all knowing that I was doing okay. It took me about 2 days to split for sleeves, I'll say that. But that wasn't because of the pattern. It was just because of my nervousness. So I'm just working down the body. I've got my little Ludo Progress Keeper on there from Ginger Snap. So great. And this is a pattern done in fingering weight yarn. She does have a DK weight version, which I didn't know. But that is good to know if you ever wanted to make a DK weight version. There's just building going on in my neighborhood, sorry. My yarns are Ruby and Rose's yarn. This was a Art Yarn of the Month Club June of 2021, I believe. It's really pretty. And then this is Midnight Cravings in the colorway Garnet. I don't know if they dye this anymore because I bought this. I think I told this story last time. It was years ago. Like, this is the second yarn purchase to my stash ever. Like in the very beginnings of my yarn addiction. Which is amazing. It's been sitting there for so long, just waiting to be used in something. I've tried a couple projects with it, but every time it just didn't seem right. And so I would take it out, put it back in. There's 2 hanks in here. But finally it's getting used, and it was meant to be honest. I think it was its destiny to be this top, because that is just so cool. The inspiration photos I saw on Instagram was a lot of people just did like 2 tonals with their tops, and it looks really good. Like the contrast is amazing. But I find that people that use 2 variegated that are close but not identical look the coolest, because that slight, I don't know, closeness definition just make it all the more amazing. Kind of like how hers is, that you can't quite tell. I'll just show you there. You can't quite tell, but you know it's there. So I really like having that slight variegation in there. And it will fit. My mom showed me that if you can get your face in there, I don't think I can with my glasses on. She just like, oh, the needles might block my way. If you can do this, it's gonna fit over your head. Just gonna pause here. This is gonna be my thumbnail. Anyway, the Sonya Tee by Born and Raised Knit. So I'm dropping stitches. Whoops, daisy. I am using the needles called for, and I'm just using my Knit Picks Caspians, because those are what I have, and I really love them. Oh, it's nice. I can see you guys. But yeah, I'm just trying to get it in the light for you guys. Well, Sonya Tee. I hope to have the rest of the chart done, and maybe the peplum started. That'll be my goal. I like having goals on my knitting. Lately I keep setting them for myself, and it seems like very big goals, but I really like having them. Podcasting has been a huge push for me to finish stuff, to circulate through my projects just a little bit faster. If I wasn't a podcaster, I probably would never finish anything, to be honest. I'm just keeping this in my Noble Character Crafts bag. It's the perfect size for this tee. I love this bag. And guess what is on the inside? Lime green. I didn't know I had a trend. Oh my goodness. Okay, last work in progress. This is probably my biggest goal I've set for myself lately, because I really want this blanket done. Alright, let's see if I can pick this up nicely. So, if you are a longtime viewer, say the beginning of the podcast viewer, this is like 2 years ago, you've seen this project many times, and it is finally making a return. This is my Bits and Bobs blanket. Oh my goodness, it's so big now. Can't really show the full thing on the podcast, I don't think. You see it? Oh, I got mohair in my eye. Oh dear. Ah. I'm fine. I lived. But anyway. Okay, this project, this blanket, it is a project, but it's easy just to say. This blanket I have been working on for almost 3 years now. I started this Christmas it'll be 3 years. This blanket I started in Christmas of 2019 with the Dragon Horde Yarn and Yarn Cafe Creations Harry Potter Advent Calendar for that year. And I'm holding it double with, I'm holding it triple now, but I used to hold double with an alpaca based yarn, and then I ran out and it turns out they don't make it anymore, so I changed. You can see kind of halfway through it, I believe. Oh yeah, it's this color. You can't really tell, but halfway through this blue I had to change. And so this side is a little fuzzier than the beginning of the blanket, which I'm totally fine with. Whatever. But I'm holding it now with this lace weight. I'm holding 2 strands of this and the main mini. Come on. Flies. Ooh, that was close. It almost went through the floor. This is Cascade Yarns Alpaca Lace. It is 100% baby alpaca. It's a 50 gram skein, but 437 yards. So, that is awesome. And it's so soft, and I don't know if you can see that halo, but it's super fuzzy. I love alpaca. It's probably my favorite fiber because it's so cozy and soft, and it's amazing. I'm using size 4mm needles. I cannot, oh, maybe it'll tell me the length here. Anyway, super long needles for this blanket. I'm super scared to hold it by the cable because I don't want it to just like pop off the needle. I don't think it would, but it's super heavy. I keep saying super just because this is a super blanket. But I am on color 15 out of 24. And originally I had set the goal that I would finish a color a week, and then I got distracted by a bunch of projects. So I'm back on it now because I really want this to be done before this coming probably fall, mainly the winter. I don't want to start another Advent blanket without finishing this one, because it becomes a lot of blankets after a while. So this is something that you will be seeing progress on. I think I finished 2 colors since the last time I showed it to you. I never even said what this pattern is. This is the Bits and Bobs blanket by Bryony Bears. I can't remember her name, but I will link it down below. But yeah, Bits and Bob's blanket is an entirety fisherman's rib blanket, so it's so squishy, like so squishy and soft and stretchy. It's gonna be an amazing blanket, and it's gonna be so much fun to have to cozy up in during the winter days. But that's the blanket I'm going to be turning my attention to a lot more. It's gonna be a super long podcast. That's all my works in progress. We made it through. It was just a lot of works in progress because I wanted to just get some footing on how many projects I have and cut back down, because I just cast on all the things and now I have to finish all the things. That's what happens. But now we will jump into my husband showing off his finished object.
Well, hello.
Hello.
I'm back. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know, but I'm back.
You're back.
I'm Ezra. I'm Eden's husband.
Mm-hmm. You can find him on Instagram as
Not that
Kraken
you really want
Cowboy.
to. It's bright out here.
It is very bright
Sorry.
out here.
Kraken cowboy, but
he doesn't do
I've
anything
never
on
posted anything. Not yet.
it. There we go.
Lucky. Yeah, but I'm finally back because I finished the project I started, like, I don't know when I started it. I think it was March. Nope.
Long?
No, I don't think so. I finished a blanket before that. A little blanket. When was that? Dang, should have figured this out
April.
beforehand.
Probably.
I think it was April, you're right. Yeah, so I guess I started this in April. I don't really know how to do this, but it's a hat.
It's a hat. So he
Thanks.
knit. Oop. Where's the front page? Oh, there we go.
Apparently it's that one.
He knit the Musselburgh by
Musselburgh.
Isolde.
And it's finally done. This was so much work.
It took a while.
It's super long. It kind of looks dumb, in my opinion, when it's like this.
Well, it's undone.
But,
yeah, it looks
yeah.
funny. But yeah, so this is a double layer hat. I think everybody and their cat has knit one
Yes, I'm a
during
cat.
last year.
I do stay inside a lot and soak up the sun from inside a window, which is why this is not my comfort zone at the moment.
Not
Good grief.
an ideal area to film. That's
It's nice
for sure.
to be outside, though. I do like the outdoors. I really like the outdoors.
You're an outdoor cat.
But then you fold it inside, which is what I was doing, and then it's a normal sized hat.
It's a hat.
Or the other way, which I haven't actually done yet.
You knit this out of
Thank you. Yeah, I keep
Knit
forgetting
Circus
about all the
yarns.
things you're supposed to do. Knit Circus yarns.
in the
I-
colorway Twitter pated.
Gave you the ball band.
Yes, it's
tag
downstairs.
thing. Oh.
Anyway, Knit Circus yarn in their trampoline base, I believe. And the
I
colorway
remember
Twitter
those things. I
pated.
can't get this fold. Hang
You
on.
can do it.
Thank you.
There we go.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You did it on size 2.75 millimeter needles.
I think that's what the pattern said.
I think so too.
Pretty basic. You just start at one end. I started at the green end, and like with a little start, you make it bigger, and then go down, and then make it smaller.
Yep. So you're basically knitting two hats at once.
Yeah. It took me absolutely forever because, yeah.
Sorry, we were cut off. Here we go.
So this took me forever, mainly because I didn't have enough in the skein to finish. It like ended here, and your mom ended up having a little piece of purple that actually looks amazing.
It's perfect.
Apparently you can see it. I can.
Like I
I can't even tell.
tell you,
It
it's
looks the same.
It's somewhere around there.
It's
Like,
somewhere just inside the decrease start, which is right there. So that this part is actually a different
different yarn. Yeah.
But it took me forever because I didn't really know what to do. I actually like paused like down here because I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's not gonna be enough. And then, yeah, your mom ended up having some that she found after a while. So
It worked out perfectly.
thank you, Mom. Yeah. So, but it's finally done.
I'll probably
Man,
wear
I
this.
talk a lot. Sorry.
I talk a lot. That's
Yeah.
the point of a podcast.
At least you say a lot of different information. I feel like I've just said the same thing.
So
Took
there's-
forever. Took forever.
Forever. Yeah. I say super a lot.
Really?
I noticed that this
Wow,
episode,
that's
but anyway.
super. Good for
It's
you.
super. But anyway, I'm trying to hold it up so you can see
Yeah,
all
thanks.
the colors. So it fades from sorry, green to purple. Yeah, Twitter pated by Knit Circus.
Yeah, it was fun to use.
It changes for you, so it kind of just like, I guess fades would be the word, slightly
Yeah, I
into
guess so.
each color. Very neat.
Yes.
I'll probably be wearing this like after it's blocked
Yeah,
right
it's
away.
finally done for you in the middle of the summer.
You know, I'll wear it in the house.
Oh yeah, it does have to be blocked, so that'll make it.
Yeah.
I hope it makes it a little bit wider and doesn't
It'll-
look so long and thin.
It'll relax a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But yeah, that's your finished object. So cool.
Thanks. I have no idea what to make next. If you have any like good pretty simple ideas, it is fun to be learning the different things, though. But if you have like pretty simple ideas, I guess put it in the comments. That's how that works. Like the people in the cool YouTubes. There you go. In the comments. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just take a break, I guess, until I figure it out, because I don't.
It's just waiting for like the right
perfect
project.
Inspiration. Yeah. I don't just make anything. I think I'll start working on some cross stitching, though. I used to cross stitch. My grandpa used to before he passed away, and I really enjoyed doing it, partially because he did, and it was always cool to see what he made. But loud truck.
There's been so many vehicles.
But yeah, I haven't picked it up in a couple of years, and I think I'm gonna try. So maybe that'd be interesting. Technically, that's a craft, but I go so slow on that it would take forever to show anything. I do have one started, but I don't know. That's something else to do. Yep. Craft. I don't know if that's interesting to talk about or not. But
some sort of hobby.
It's a craft. I kind of craft. Like once a week. For like 2 minutes.
It's good.
And that's why that
have
takes
something.
forever. Oh,
right?
That's cool. That looks cool.
Yeah.
I'll fold it up.
It's a nice sandwich.
Looks like socks.
It does look like socks. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks for hopping on, and
no problem.
Thank you guys for joining us. It's probably going to be like an extra long episode because of how much I had to show today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, thank you if you sat all the way through. It's a long podcast, but I have fun working with the elements and traffic and
brothers.
Yep. Brothers. My brother has come in a couple times to just be annoying, but that's what brothers are for.
Mm-hmm. And he's good at it.
Yep. So, thank you so much for sitting through. If you like the podcast, it's not always like this. Click subscribe and hit the bell? The bell does something. You'll have to tell me what it does by clicking it.
Notifies you when there's a new podcast. It is actually helpful.
And if you really want to share to somebody else who might like the podcast, your help to share and like and comment is the only way that my podcast can get out to anybody. Mm-hmm. So I really appreciate every subscription and like.
She does. She gets
comment.
Very excited.
I do get very excited. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.